was a disaster. You know, it wasn't entirely the cleanest, but it's about as clean as this game was. But Bruins fans, it is not out, because that is a 3-2 victory in overtime against the Dallas Stars, the beast of the East versus the best of the West. Welcome back to Into the Den, everybody. Oh man, what a win! And you know what? It's a win that this team needed. I mean, sure, we're still without Jake DeBrusk, and that sucks. It sucks that we're without DeBrusk, but ultimately, what this needs to more importantly, we've lost four of our last five. We lost the game against Tampa. We lost the game against Florida. We lost the game against Carolina. We won the game against Toronto. Although to be honest, it was a lot closer than the score sheet actually read. And we lost the game against Washington. And so going into the game on the road against one of the best teams in the entire NHL, we needed this, and who boy did we deliver. First of all, it's kind of important to realize that this is the first NESN broadcast of a Bruins game after the All-Star break. The reason why this is important is because it seems like the entire NESN broadcast group had some sort of joint replacement over the All-Star break, and by the entire broadcast crew, I mean just Andy Brickley and Dale Arnold. Andy Brickley, less than a day after the Toronto game, was in the hospital getting complete hip replacement, and Dale Arnold at some point during the break ended up getting knee replacement. So it's good to see that they're doing well. But what's not doing well? The Bruins power play. Bruins power play has not been doing well. In fact, during this game, the Bruins end up adding 1, 2, 3. We are now at 0 for 20. We have not scored a power play goal in our last 6 games. We have been 0 for 20 on the power play in those 6 games. As one of the best offensive teams in the league, stop playing this poorly. And it's not like the freaking 0 for 39 stretch last season where oh yeah, we're blowing almost 40 consecutive power plays, but we're still scoring at even strength enough to actually for it to not matter too much. Like honestly, during that 0 for 39 stretch, the Bruins went. I feel like it needs to be repeated that the Bruins went 7-5. That the Bruins went 7-5-0 during that stretch. I don't care what kind of. I don't care who you are. If on the man advantage you cannot score 39 consecutive times, and you still manage to come out on the other side of the 12-game stretch that happened in. You come out of that game over 500. You deserve a medal. Unfortunately, the Bruins have not come out the Bruins during this 6-game stretch of not scoring a power play goal are not getting any sort of awards because they are now 2-3-1, which is effectively 2-4. But during this game, I was calling my friend Scott Naylor, who's a really, really big Stars fan, and because she lives in freaking Texas. Yes. And one thing we came to this conclusion together. No matter what, this game was fun. Like this game, it's not Bruins Leafs from earlier this season, with the Matt Grzelcyk goal in the last 75 seconds to win in regulation. No, well, this game, no, it's not like that. But this game definitely is. This game is probably second best. This game is probably second most fun game they've played this season, and that which means Bruins Rangers game, Bruins Stars game, Bruins Leafs game. I mean, here's the thing about Bruins Leafs. It's hard to really replicate the hype of an original 6 matchup. And I know that to some people it's like, oh great, it's Red Sox Yankees. It's basically the same thing as Red Sox Yankees, where the rivalry has been pushed down our throats so much that it doesn't matter. But no, Bruins Leafs is always hype. Look at me. Look at me talking about Bruins Leafs instead of Bruins and Stars. Let's talk about Bruins Stars. And you know what? This game was very much two really good skating teams, but it wasn't just that. It was essentially a matchup between freaking Prime Brodeur versus Prime Hasek. I'm rocking the man bun. Screw it. But during this game, the first period honestly was everything was coming up Bruins for that during that first period. And yes, Allmark let one in, but it was a fantastic goal that he let in. Like, that is not, like, I don't understand what you want Allmark to do in that situation. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves because just after the first 10 minutes and we have the first goal of the game with a great feed into the offensive zone from David Krejci. Hampus Lindholm going behind the net, dragging two Stars players behind him, including Tyler, only steers and queers in Texas, and I'm not a cow, Sagan. And Lindholm passes back to Taylor Hall, who just chips it right past Jake Ottinger. And let me be clear, Jake Ottinger had a fantastic game tonight. He had a brilliant game tonight. And it wasn't a matter of he needed to be better. But yeah, he was the second best goalie tonight. But just a little bit after that, I took my hair out of the bun. It was a little bit uncomfortable, but still, right after that, like less than 3 minutes later, Joe Pavelski, Jason Robertson, and freaking Rope Hintz. Fantastic. Okay, Skylar told me during this call that Jason Robertson is the main star of the Stars. Rope Hintz is their best player, and Rope Hintz is their best forward. And honestly, that's fair. Because, oh my God, this goal. Pavelski passes is freaking Robertson. I can't tell if he means to pass it between his legs or if he just mishandles it. But either way, Rope hints completely. But either way, it goes through his legs. Rope hints settles it and rips it past Allmark. Insane goal. Insane. I don't know what you want Allmark to do there. And this is where I started to feel the game shifting towards the Stars. Yes, the Bruins largely through the first period outworked Dallas, but but after that Hintz goal, they started getting into their momentum, and oh my God, Jake Ottinger. I need people to understand this right quick. Jake Ottinger in this game played his 41st game this season, tying Connor Hellebuck for the most games played this season from a goalie. In one less game played up until the puck drop of this one, Jake Ottinger let in 12 fewer goals. If there is conversation to be had that Connor Hellebuck deserves the Vezina, then there should be more conversation that freaking Jake Ottinger deserves Vezina, because even if Connor Vezina Buck is playing out of his mind, and he's doing it with someone who is legitimately, if the Norris Trophy was not just given to the best PP1 defenseman and best PK1 defenseman, because let's be fair, the Norris is just the opposite of the Selke. The Norris is pretty much just given out to the best offensive defenseman, and whereas the Selke is the best defensive forward. No, Josh Morrissey would be winning the Norris. Although to be fair, the Stars would also have a Norris winner in Miro Heiskanen. But Jake Ottinger, this game, absolutely solidified why he needs to be in the Vezina conversation. Anyway, into the second period, the Bruins start out putting good pressure on, but they end up blowing it with Joe Pavelski again. Fantastic play from Pavelski. He threads the needle through defenseman to Robertson, and Robertson just rips it past Allmark, but Allmark gets just enough to where it just right past him into the goal to put the Stars up 2-1, and that would remain for a good chunk of the game. The rest of the second period is pretty much just penalties being taken, except for oh boy, Mason Marchment. You thought you were free from criticism in this game, weren't you? Didn't you, buddy? Jason Marchment hits the post and it goes right into, and Allmark traps it. But he's freaking out there selling as if he scored a goal. Jesus, man. Anyway, second period ends. Third period, it starts. Mason Marchment continuing his bad streak and basically being the Stars equivalent of Craig Smith, in that he's like a $4.3 million money pit. He ends up going for high sticking. Bruins can't kill it. I mean, they can't put it away on the power play. But Zacha during this game had a few really close opportunities, to the point where I was thinking the King of Almost was back. I legitimately thought that the King of Almost was back, and Zacha was just gonna be struck by bad puck luck. But Brandon Carlo, a fantastic pass you made. Like I know the goal is what's impressive here, but it's the most impressive here. But still, that pass that he made to Pavel Zacha was insane. Just he knew exactly where to place it. So that it wouldn't get taken by the defenseman behind Zacha, but also wouldn't fly off into the boards. He put it right where Zacha's stick needed to be. He winds up and fires it past Ottinger to tie the game at 2. We go into the Ford F-150 Final 5, and it's chippy. It is very chippy. Both teams wanting to really, really wanted this win, and honestly, both teams in their own rights deserve this win. And credit to Tyler Seguin. Even if he may be on one of the worst contracts in the NHL right now, he gave the Bruins what for? Dude, 10 years later, the dude still doesn't want breakfast. Speaking of Tyler Seguin, and we head to overtime, and oh boy, in overtime, in the first, within like the first minute, Marchand ends up going for interference on Tyler Seguin, and I had friends not only saying that it was a bad call, but my friend Mercy actually said that that's a bullshit call. Oh, you're allowed to commit violence on your friends, and you know what? I agree with that. More people should commit violence on their friends. I am saying this as a joke, but that means it's 4-on-3 for the next 2 minutes. And the entire time I am just like clenching. I don't want this to end like this. I mean, I would rather it end in overtime than in a shootout, but I do not want it to end like this. And the Bees bricked the hell up. Absolute brick wall on defense. They kill the penalty, and eventually, from fantastic puck work from Zacha, Pasternak, and McAvoy, with McAvoy passing it across the ice to Pasternak after he gets into position. He's pretty much at the end of the freaking circle. I was like, he's at the bottom of the circle. He's got a really weird angle on doing it, and he still rips it. He still rips it right past Jake Ottinger. Anywhere, anytime, anyhow, the Bruins do it. The Bruins always do it. And that is our 40th win of the season, and that is also the 100th win for Jim Montgomery. Fantastic work from this man. The way that he has been able to transform this roster and just squeeze out every essence of production from this team is incredible. We now have 3 scoring lines. I cannot tell you the last time we had the depth enough to have not just 2 but 3 scoring lines. And that's going to do it for me, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Take care.